A guy said to God, "God, is it true that to you a billion years is like a second?" God said yes. The guy said, "God, is it true that to you $1 billion is like a penny?" God said yes. The guy said, "God, can I have a penny?" God said, "Sure, just a second." A wife got so mad at her husband she packed his bags and told him to get out. As he walked to the door she yelled, "I hope you die a long, slow, painful death." He turned around and said, "So, you want me to stay?" After a prolonged drought, when the rain came, all the animals in the forest were happy except the kangaroo. When the others asked him what the reason was for such sadness, the kangaroo revealed that the rain meant that all its kids would now be playing inside.
My boss was honest with me today. He pulled up to work with his sweet new car this morning, and I complimented him on it. He replied, "Well, if you work hard, set goals, stay determined, and put in long hours, I can get an even better one next year." My girlfriend and I are trying this whole long-distance relationship thing. I have to stay 100 feet away from her at all times. Also, the police say I should stop referring to her as my girlfriend. Did you hear about the mathematician who's afraid of negative numbers? He'll stop at nothing to avoid them. Did you hear about the actor who fell through the floorboards? He was just going through a stage. A young boy enters a barber shop and the barber whispers to his customer, "This is the dumbest kid in the world. Watch while I prove it to you." The barber puts a dollar bill in one hand and 2 quarters in the other, then calls the boy over and asks, "Which do you want, son?" The boy takes the quarters and leaves. "What did I tell you?" said the barber. That kid never learns. Later, when the customer leaves, he sees the same young boy coming out of the ice cream parlor. "Hey, son. May I ask you a question? Why did you take the quarters instead of the dollar bill?" The boy licked his cone and replied, "Because the day I take the dollar, the game is over." During my checkup, I asked the doctor, "Do you think I'll live a long and healthy life then?" He replied, "I doubt it somehow. Mercury is in Uranus right now." I said, "I don't go in for any of that astrology nonsense." He replied, "Neither do I. My thermometer just broke." A guy asked a lawyer about his fees. "I charge $50 for 3 questions. The lawyer says, "That's awfully steep, isn't it?" The guy asks, "Yes, I suppose so." The lawyer replies, "Now what's your final question?" Yesterday I saw a guy spill all his Scrabble letters on the road. I asked him, "What's the word on the street?" Once my dog ate all the Scrabble tiles. For days he kept leaving little messages around the house. Don't miss these hilarious egg puns that will absolutely crack you up. Knock, knock. Who's there? Control freak. Con. Okay, now you say, control freak who? Did you hear about the actor who fell through the floorboards? He was just going through a stage. Why did the chicken go to the sands? To get to the other side. Check out these other Why Did the Chicken Cross the Road? Jokes for more laughs.
A young boy enters a barber shop, and the barber whispers to his customer, "This is the dumbest kid in the world. Watch while I prove it to you." The barber puts a dollar bill in one hand and 2 quarters in the other, then calls the boy over and asks, "Which do you want, son?" The boy takes the quarters and leaves. "What did I tell you?" said the barber. "That kid never learns." Later, when the customer leaves, he sees the same young boy coming out of the ice cream parlor. "Hey, son, may I ask you a question? Why did you take the quarters instead of the dollar bill?" The boy licked his cone and replied, "Because the day I take the dollar, the game is over." Putin is held hostage by a terrorist. A Russian truck driver stops at the back of a long queue on the motorway. He sees a policeman walking down the line of stopped cars to briefly talk to the drivers. As the policeman approaches the truck driver rolls down his window and asks, "What's going on?" Policeman, "A terrorist is holding Putin hostage in a car. He's demanding 10 million rubles. Or he'll douse Putin in petrol and set him on fire. So we're asking drivers for donations." Driver, "Oh, okay. How much do people donate on average?" Policeman, "About a gallon. The wife and I took along. Leisurely drive out to the country and pulled over to fill up our car's gas tank and tires. She was surprised to see that the station had a fee to fill the tires and asked me, 'Why in the world do they charge for air?' I responded, 'Inflation.' A man is walking through the woods. When he sees a bear charging at him, he books it, but he knows he can't outrun a bear for long. So he starts praying, 'Dear Lord, I beseech thee, please, O Lord, please let this bear be a Christian.' The bear catches up to him, knocks him down on the ground, then gets on its knees and says, 'Dear Lord, thank you for this food I am about to receive.' Did you hear about the mathematician? Who's afraid of negative numbers? He'll stop at nothing to avoid them. What's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus." Helvetica and Times New Roman walk into a bar. "Get out of here," shouts the bartender. "We don't serve your type." Hear about the new restaurant called Karma. There's no menu. You get what you deserve. Tim decided to tie the knot with his longtime girlfriend. One evening, after the honeymoon, he was organizing his golfing equipment. His wife was standing nearby watching him. After a long period of silence, she finally speaks. "Tim, I've been thinking, now that we're married, maybe it's time you quit golfing. You spend so much time on the course, you could probably get a good price for your clubs." Tim gets this horrified look on his face. She says, "Darling, what's wrong? For a minute there, you were beginning to sound like my ex-wife.